the signal became more coherent, it became more uniform. The whole spine responded as if it was one. It became more energy efficient. And as care progressed, they saw more nodal points or more oscillators, more particular areas vibing together, which can predict the level of care a person is at. So from a simple perspective, or a layperson's perspective, what we're talking about is upgrading the human operational system, the nervous system, to new levels not seen before. And it's not just that the wave occurs, the wave must be linked to specific rocking or oscillation of the vertebral-dural relationships. So as I developed network, consistent with what the research was showing, as I understood more of the nature of the system, and now the nature of all systems, how they react based upon this, I'm able to really modify the clinical system, the applications, the questions we ask people, and significantly the results people can achieve. So Edmund Youngcare, who was quoted in the article in Journal of Alternative Complementary Medicine on introducing reorganizational healing, he said the objectively established fact that signals become less random and more predictable can be interpreted to reveal a better organization of the neural circuitry as the care is advanced. From this point of view, it's fair to assert that network spinal analysis, NSA, provides some form of reorganizational healing. And this is really important because reorganizational healing as a concept developed in studying people in network care, and now it is the first system of spinal reorganizational healing that exists. Further research supported through Professor Edmund Youngcare and his research team, and Srideep Muthusaki is now one of the researchers doing network for many years, has published several major papers. He was a grad student years ago under Professor Edmund Youngcare, has done much more research. Several universities have actually studied, departments of mathematics and engineering, the mathematics of the network wave, really in helping model the nervous system. And people have gotten to PhDs in mathematics, such as Srideep, studying the wave. So they found out how to model the spine and nervous system at higher levels of organization and coherency with network. They also found the coordination of the spine at a distance occurs. So if you apply a sacral-occipital contact, it can affect the other end of the spine, and they actually respond in a way that appears even before the signal gets to the brain. They're already responding. So this is producing what they talk about quantum entanglement, where different particles respond in a particular field effect, organizing and functioning as one. You see that in sports. You can have a sports team trained phenomenally, and they may come in the bottom of the heap. The next year, somehow something clicks, and they function as one unit more efficiently. That is really the coordination over space. And that is what we see happening in the nervous system of an individual in network care. A real big thing, a big thing, is the concept of central pattern generator. A central pattern generator. The human gait, the way a person walks, was listed as having the first central pattern generator of the spine. And what does that mean? Everybody has a style the way they walk. And you may recognize, you might not recognize it. That style of how they walk is an integrated set of sensory motor strategies, integrated through neural circuitry embedded in the lumbar spine. Today's modern computer systems at airports or stadiums and security systems, if they have a record of your gait and they have this type of application there, they would know it's you when you walk into the stadium. But what if you broke your leg? What if you had a cast? What if you were limping? What if you had a stroke? Well, they still realize it's you. It looks quite different. A central pattern generator does not require patterned sensory input to go into the system. It has a period of chaotic settling, and then it organizes consistent with algorithms that are consistent with each individual. A central pattern generator is like a fingerprint or a retinal print. It's unique for each individual. Professor Srideep Muthusaki has actually done further research, and in 2011 published a paper in Mathematics and Engineering Journal of Control that the network wave meets the mathematical criteria as a second known central pattern generator of the spine. This is a big whoop-de-doo. It's a real big thing here. I mean, this is a message. This is something you want to send a message to your friends about. You want to text them and let this know. This is a really big thing. A central pattern generator. What generates learning in the spine? What generates spinal patterns of behavior? And it's unique for each individual. This is my take on it for a layperson, from what I see. The network wave is a person's individualized, self-referenced signal. It's your healing wave. And when it goes to the system, it suspends the sensory motor strategies you may have learned from defense strategies, patterns that are not you, ways you learn to defend yourself, non-authentic patterns of behavior, non-authentic patterns of your being relative to sensory motor strategies. And when it moves through, it suspends them. And then with the network care, depending on the level of care, we're finding energy that has been disassociated and it's going on top of the wave, it's riding on the wave, and now there's a force for work. So the body now could suspend that which is not real for you, authentic, and it could reorganize in a more authentic way consistent with your core nature. This is major. I believe that's why people say, wow, network care, as the wave moves through, at the point they say, I just understand life differently. I was living such BS stories before. They see life differently, and they have amazing stress-busting effect because, pain may motivate change, but change in one's identity motivates real progress, and change in one's identity has a spinal sensory motor relationship. They also found each level of care is classical for the level of organization. I mean, this is talking about upgrade the human nervous system. People are living right now on nervous systems with operating systems thousands of years old, because up until pretty recently, people lived the same way for thousands of years, and we're being required to have a 21st century lifestyle and adaptability. I believe network helps produce that. Also, preliminary results with paraplegic populations showed the wave actually moved through the lesion with a 99% mathematical certainty, at least on those populations, those patients. There's partial motor recovery even years later. That's pretty amazing. In 1992, 1993, and 94, there was a lot of press on network, feature articles and cover stories in the Atlanta Constitution, the Los Angeles Times, Toronto Star, to mention a few, the Daily Mail in England. They had articles in Us, Fitness, Shape magazine, articles in a variety of psychological and spiritual publications. We're talking about network, and they were talking about patients' responses. And what they were saying is how they got changed. They had not gotten other forms of care, and very few of them talked about pain. Most of these articles were really about the psychosocial changes, how they could function better, how their perspective of life changed, how they have new actions, new behaviors, change their jobs, change relationships, have a spiritual sense. Now, this was really, I thought it was really great. I got really excited about it. The patients got excited, but that was a time politically before the concept of real wellness, before the concept of the spiritual aspect of healing was really being integrated. And many chiropractic organizations and regulatory agencies were really getting upset because they were really looking to position chiropractic as a limited medical practice for back pain. And now, all of a sudden, people are talking about the weird stuff. Well, I'll let you know, you will never get to the extraordinary from the ordinary. And the results we got were extraordinary. So I said, it's time that we actually research what changes people were getting. And what I felt at that time in 1994 was in the future,